this evening. We had a little emergency to come along, and as we all know, that life presents itself in many different ways, and so we had to accommodate a loved one, right? One of our beloved pets that has been part of our life, for almost 11 years. She's doing fine, in case you're wondering, and we'll talk more about her later on. But we have to make time for those that we love and cherish as part of our lives, and this will certainly tie into tonight's topic as we talk about the first two of the Four Noble Truths. But again, thank you for joining me this evening, and I sincerely appreciate you spending some of your valuable and precious time with us tonight. And so we'll start off with our guided meditation, and this is going to be for gratitude, when talking about the Four Noble Truths and how they were developed. One of the fruits of that discussion is, or that, not discussion, but that realization is gratitude. So go ahead and find yourself in a nice, comfortable position. Whether you sit up is fine, or whether you're laying down is just as well, whatever works best for you. And you're more than welcome to go ahead and close your eyes, if that's what you choose, or you can keep them partially open with just a soft focus, just a few feet in front of you. Either way, it's fine, whatever's comfortable for you. I will be the one guiding you, so you're more than welcome to close your eyes. Go ahead and put that smile, that half smile on your face as well. Remember, these are pleasurable experiences that when we meditate, it's a way for us to connect with ourselves. Go ahead and breathe in. Pause and slowly let out. Go ahead and soften your belly while you're at it. And breathe in. Pause. Slowly exhale. And go ahead and sit up just a little bit straighter. And then as you exhale through the nose, go ahead and release tension in your shoulders. Take a few moments with attention to breath, settling in a neutral, upright posture. Again, allow your belly to soften and shift your shoulders back ever so slightly, and allow your chin, so the back of your neck is just neutral and long, just down a little bit. And with awareness of breath and posture, begin to intentionally generate a deep sensation of gratitude for the breath itself. As you watch, notice the breath moving in and out through the nose. Remember how precious this one breath is. And this next one too. So breathe in. Pause. Slowly exhale. Invite in that spaciousness of awe and wonder as you sit with the next 3 to 5 cycles of your breath. So breathe in. Pause. Slowly exhale. And go ahead and do that on your own. Then draw attention to your heart. Feel the heartbeat beat. Perhaps in the quiet, you can hear it. Still aware of breath, but noticing, listening to your heart. Invite in awareness of the miracle of that heartbeat. And then as we sit with this, we'll notice for another 3 or so cycles of the breath. Just feel that heartbeat go and sit with it. So breathe in, pause, slowly exhale. And still aware of the breath and the heartbeat, draw awareness to the form of your human body. Here, functioning, breathing, and heart beating. Noticing whatever it is that arises when we notice the unique fortune of our human birth. Here in this human body, you have everything you need to awaken. You have everything you need to find happiness, contentment, and joy within. There is infinite capacity within you. Infinite capacity for awareness and gratitude. Breath breathing. Heart beating. A mind that can notice, understand, feel, and discern. A mind whose capacity for awareness, understanding, and growth is infinite. A mind whose capacity for noticing the true nature is right here, right now, in your hands. Smile on that breath. Smile on the heartbeat. Invite in love for this body. And kindness towards this mind. Rest here, remembering you have everything you need. Resting in gratitude for it all. And as the mind, with its infinite capacity, tries to draw you away, keep coming back to the wonder of this one breath in, this one breath out. The magic of the heartbeat. The beauty of being here. Breathe in. Pause. Slowly exhale. Go ahead and slowly open your eyes and bring awareness to your surroundings. Reorientate yourselves before maybe you stand up or move around. Just get your bearings and just enjoy the gratitude that's now flowing through your body and the calmness that you are experiencing. So, as Buddha got older from living in his well-protected, well-guarded, well-nursed lifestyle, he made several ventures out. While he was living behind the walls, his protection from the outside world, he was given the illusion that everything is always okay. No sick, no elderly, no poor, no hunger, no disease, nothing. And as he made those ventures out, one way or the other, he began to notice that things were not as idyllic as he had been brought up to believe. And so that gave him the idea that nurtured the curiosity. What is the cause? What's going on? What is it that we see or that he has seen? in these brief ventures. And so he wanted to know more, much like all of us do, right? We all want to know more. What's around the corner? Not just with, the path and spirituality or enlightenment or anything else. It's just the curiosity. What's out there? What's more? Is this all that I am? And so his many encounters with other sages and so forth and other gurus and people of spiritual discipline, he set forth on his own. And he came up with 4 noble truths during his time out there. And tonight's talk, we're only going to talk about the first 2. In 2 weeks, we'll continue with number 3 and 4. And so tonight, his first noble truth that came to him, that he realized, was that there is suffering in the world. And we may think of that as commonplace, common knowledge. But it wasn't for him. Remember, he came up in a very wealthy lifestyle as a prince. So that was believe it or not, that was a part of his training, part of him being him, right? To be sheltered from that. We take that for granted because we see that every day, right? Someone suffering one way or the other. And so his first noble truth, there is suffering in the world. Remember, on his ventures, he went out and saw, elderly, poor, and he wondered why. And so that was, again, as basic as that may sound, that there is suffering in the world. That's what he came up with. And it's 100% accurate, right? Again, we see that every day. And some of us are suffering right now, one way or the other. And on many fronts, that there is suffering. And so with any problem, I suppose could be the word, right? It's acknowledging that there is a problem. Before we can fix something, we have to realize or understand that there is something. Before an addict can go to recovery, he has to admit, I am an addict, and therefore go to recovery. If we are spending too much money, our bank accounts are always negative, we have to realize, I am spending too much money. My bank account is negative. That's the first realization and acknowledgement that there is something going on. That is always the first step. The second noble truth that he states is the cause of suffering. And it can be worded in myriad ways, but it really boils down to desire and wants. You desire something, you want something. That will always lead to suffering, especially when something like that is, whatever you're wanting is not achieved. But even the very act of wanting something because you don't have it, you're realizing that I don't have this, I want this. That's the beginning of suffering. Now, what about when we're hungry? I want to eat. So, perfectly normal function for us, right? We have to eat to live. We have to drink, right? We have to have water to rehydrate our bodies. Absolutely. And again, that's a want. But suppose it's something that you don't have, that you want to eat, that you don't have. Suppose you just have a bologna sandwich, but maybe you want, I don't know, lobster or shrimp or something like that. Okay. So we have everything that we want, right? We have the necessary ingredients to sustain ourselves, but we want something else. And that's where the suffering comes in, the want, that desire. And it doesn't just stem with just food and water, right? There are more extravagant examples. Think about that new car. Gotta have that new car. I want that new car. And suppose it's a new car that's out of your means. It may take, several years for you to comfortably save up enough, because you don't want to be negative in your bank account. But suppose it takes several years to save up. And maybe you have to work longer hours. Maybe those longer hours require you to stay away from your family even longer, and neglecting those responsibilities as well. Your family will begin to notice. Your family will begin to say something. You're spending too much time, all for this new car. And so that want, that desire for a material object can cause the suffering for you, right? Because you are now spending more time at work, right? You are taking away that, or those precious moments from your family for a material object that, quite frankly, when you drive off the lot, it's just going to lose value. And so that want and desire for materialism is a huge cause of suffering. Smoking, right? That's another example. Not too many people smoke any longer, but that's an addiction, much like drinking or drug use, or could be a lot of things, right? Exercise. You could be addicted to exercise. That can be an addiction as well. And that can cause suffering too, addictions. Because not only does that harm you, and that creates that suffering inside you. I didn't get my exercise in. I feel unaccomplished today. Or, when is the smoke break? I need to go out and have a cigarette. That is causing your body suffering and your mental well-being suffering as well. Your body's craving the nicotine. Your mind says, hey, my body's craving nicotine. That is causing suffering, those wants, those desires. And so it's important for us to have that balance. Do we need water? Absolutely. Are we going to desire water? Absolutely. Right? Especially on those hot summer days, or after a workout, or just to keep our body in good health. Same thing with food. We can be a food addict as well, right? It's one thing I just, kind of wanted to include. But we can be addicted to food as well. But we need it. And so it's important to realize also what we're eating, right? And why are we eating? Remember, we eat for nutrition, right? To keep our bodies healthy. So maybe if we are on a maintenance plan to keep our bodies fit and healthy, or whether it's under doctor's orders or not, maybe it's something that we realize that, could lose a few kilograms or a few pounds. Remember, we eat for nutrition, not always for pleasure. It's certainly nice to have a slice of pie or cake every now and then as a well-deserved reward or treat. But remember, the goal of eating is to keep us alive. And so those desires, especially with all the sugar, right? Sugar can make us crave more sugar. And so the second noble truth is the cause of suffering, and the cause of suffering is want and desires, right? It could be the want for anything too. It could be something as very negative as revenge, right? Suppose somebody cuts us off in traffic, right? Maybe you decide to zip around them and cut them off too. That's, maybe you cause an accident doing that. That's suffering as well, right? Just, not even including, if there's a little accident, even just a minor fender bender, that car's got to get repaired. The two of them, right? All because somebody cut you off. So there are many just small examples of desires and wants. And they all don't have to be, as grandiose as, going to a war, right? Because those are extreme examples of wants and desires. Somebody did something to us. We have to go strike them back. That's just going to continue that cycle of suffering. And so, first noble truth is that there is suffering in the world, and there always will be. There will always be someone who's hungry, someone who needs clothing, someone who needs shelter. And then the second noble truth is that cause of suffering, which stems, again, from desires and wants. So we have to maintain that balance of what is healthy wants and desires versus what is unhealthy. Again, food and nutrition, shelter, and that safety, those are necessary. Some of the others maybe not so much. And so we'll talk about the remaining two. I don't want to say them just yet. I want you guys to come back 2 weeks. We'll talk about them. Noble twos, the third and the fourth. And which brings up our next schedule in 2 weeks, right? That's today, the 6th. So in 14 days, on a Monday, we usually broadcast. Well, we always broadcast live stream. Again, this was the first evening that I had to do this post-recorded, I guess. Not pre-post, due to a veterinary emergency. We'll talk about the third and the fourth noble truths for the series for September. Also, the end of the month, September 26th, is our final silent retreat, which is an in-person event. Registration is free, and you can go to bluelotusmeditation.us for more information and to register if you like. You're more than welcome to. We had a wonderful turnout for August. It's a beautiful day. Everybody got something out of it. You're not required to stay the whole time. You can stay as long as you want. You take what you need. That's how life works. You just take what you need and leave what you don't. And if you do find these sessions helpful, calming, I do ask, please do like and subscribe to our channel just to help out. Right? Just to help out. Appreciate it. And with that, my friends, I do wish you all an evening of peace and ease, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Take care, my friends.